Yanmaya-vashavarti vishwamakhilam brahmadidevasura yatsattvadamrushaiva bhati sakalam rajjau yatha hirbhramaha yatpadaplavamekame hi bhavam bodhe sthitirshavatam vandeham tamasheshakarana param ramakhyamisham harim. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Om 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Om Jaya Jaya Ram Om सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Hari Om. In the last session we had seen Dashrath Maharaj looking into a mirror. He sits in the court and he just looks into the mirror, and it appears as though that grey hair which was there near his ears is saying something to him. Shravana Samipa Bhayamu Sita Kesa Manahu Jaratapana Kara Upadesa. As the old age is coming and whispering to him that now is the time that he should give the reins to Bhagavan Rama, make him Yuvaraja, and then go on to appreciate the main purpose of life. And this topic we had seen under the main heading of Pravrutti and Nivritti. As a Vedanta student, that is how this topic will be presented. How to engage myself, how much to engage, for how long to engage. And disengaging is not out of distaste. Nivritti means there is a different maturity in that sadhaka, because of which he seeks some different type of action. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said, just by giving up karma, not starting any karma, we are not going to accomplish anything. Na karmanam anarambhat, naishkarmyam purushoshnate. Nacha sanyasanadeva, siddhim samadhi gacchati. Means by dropping things halfway, out of whatever reason, we are also not going to accomplish anything. So where does Dashrath Maharaj fall? He started many things, lived a good life, but is he dropping something in between? He's not dropping things in between. He has fulfilled all his duties, and the result of that dharmic life is he has gotten this thought, I should seek something higher. That is a perfect example of nivritti, how it should be done. It's a cheerful, joyous promotion, not retirement. Promotion because you are seeking something different, but seeking something higher. That nivritti was Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. And after that, he went to Vashistha Maharshi. First thing he wants to do is go and tell Vashistha Maharshi what is there in his mind. And Vashistha Maharshi very patiently listens, and he says one chaupai, which is the fourth one. Sudina Sumangalu Tabahi Jaba Ramu Hohi Jubaraju. What is the good day for coronation? He says that day that Bhagavan Rama becomes the king, that is the good day That is the auspicious time. Now we had seen this from a sadhana perspective also. Whatever good sadhana we want to start, we want to say, I want to start my Shravanam. I want to do some kind of japa. I want to be more sincere in any sadhana. Don't wait for an auspicious day. The day we get that sankalpa, that is auspicious day. But another thing from Ramayana standpoint is, Vashistha Maharshi was Trikalajna. Trikalajna means one who knows the past and one who knows the future. And of course, present he knows. Present all of us know. But one who knows the past and the future, that is Vashistha Maharshi. So he already knows Bhagavan is not going to become the king right away. So he has to give a very carefully measured answer. This Chaupai expresses his sensitivity. He has given the answer. And it is the right answer also. What is the auspicious time? He says, whenever Bhagavan becomes the king, that is the auspicious time. But he has not told when it will be. After that, he gives detailed instructions, what has to be done, and how to plan for this Rajyabhisheka. Rivers from all the holy places had to be brought. And with that water, they are going to do Abhisheka. You know the word Rajyabhisheka, what it means? Abhisheka means to pour water. What is Rajya Abhisheka? Means from this day onwards, this king represents entire Rajya. Previously, one Chaupai, Goswamiji had written, one Doha, that the role of Raja and role of Ishvara is similar. Means he has to take care of not only his family, but entire Praja. For that, he needs lot of prosperity. He needs lot of punyas, and so many other good things have to happen. So that ceremony is indicator of that. That's why so much elaborate preparation they're doing, bringing all the sacred water from holy rivers, and with that they will do his Abhisheka. That is this Rajya Abhisheka, that from today you are not an individual. When you say king, entire Rajya is included in your name. So no decision you can take for yourself. In today's modern term, it is called as oath-taking ceremony. Right? And you see, pay attention to the words, what they use. They say, I will not work only for myself or just for my constituency. I will take decisions in the well-being of everybody. That was their way of doing Rajyabhisheka at that time. That king represents everybody. So let us chant after 6th Doha. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 जो मुनि सजहि आय सुदीना, सोते ही काजु प्रथम जनु कीन्हा। विप्रसादु सुर पूजत राजा, करत राम हित मंगल काजा। सुनत राम अभिषेक सुभावा, बाज गहा गह अवध बधावा। राम सीयतन सगुन जनाए, हर कहि मंगल अंग सुहाए। पुलकि सप्रेम परस पर कहि, भरत आगमन सूचक आहि। भये बहुत दिन अति अवसेरे, सगुन प्रतीति भेट प्रिय केरे। भरत सरिस प्रिय को जग माहि, इह सगुन फल दूसर नाहि। राम ही बंधु सोच दिन राति, खंडनि कमट हृदय जेहि भांति। एहि अवसर मंगलु परम, सुनि रहस्य उर निवासु। शोभत लखि विदु बढ़त जनु, बारिधि बीच बिलासु। प्रथम जाई जिन्ह बचन सुनाए, भूषण बसन भूरि तिन्ह पाए। प्रेम पुलकितन मन अनुरागी, मंगल कलश सजन सब लागी। चौके चारु सुमित्रा पूरी, मणिमय विविध भांति अति रूपी। आनंद मगन राम महतारी, दिए दान बहु विप्रहकारी। पूजी ग्राम देवी सुर नागा, कहु बहुरी देन बलि भागा। जेहि विधि होई राम कल्याणो, देहु दया करि सो बरदानो। गावहि मंगल कोकिल भयनि, विदु बदनी मृग सावक नयनी। राम राज अभिषेक सुनी, हर्षे नर नारी। लगे सुमंगल सजन सब, विधि अनुकूल विचार। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। So Vashistha Maharshi has just finished giving detailed instructions for Rajyabhisheka. What ingredients you should bring, how you should bring from all the rivers and everything. And everybody, they heard the instructions. And right after that, they presented whatever instruction was given to them. Means they completed it and they were ready going back to Vashistha Maharshi. How did that thing look? Jo muni se jihi ayesu dinha, so tehi kaju prathama janu kinha. Means it looked as though they had already done it before. They were just waiting for Vashistha Maharshi to say, and they would get it ready for him. Children, when they want to do something, and they're just waiting for parents' approval, if they want to get something or do something, the moment mom or dad says it, they'll be ready with that thing. They already planned it before. It's only a matter of saying. Also on election day, when the results are announced, whichever election it is, sometimes it comes late in the night. Elections are announced, results are announced like at 12 o'clock, 12:30. Next day morning, 6 o'clock, the newspaper already has like big headlines of the winning. Once, I knew one reporter. I asked him, how do you manage that? 12:30 night and morning 6 o'clock, even for major events. They have this early morning printing and they are ready with the news. I say, you think we are writing it on that day? It's already written before. They just change the name. Either it is this guy or it is the other person. So like that is representative of eagerness. Ayodhya Vasis, all of them were so eager. They prepared everything in place. Vipra sadhusura pujata raja karata ramahita mangala kaja. But Dashrath Maharaj, even in this happy moment, he is continuing to do his dharma. Whatever dhanam has to be given. Now this thought is always there in each and every prasanga. When everything is going well, making sure that our punya karmas are also growing. So even when all celebration is going, everything is going, he is still giving dhanam, he is still doing his pujanam, doing all his dharmic acts. Now all citizens, they also rejoice. And now Goswamiji says, Bhagavan, Rama and Sita ji, they start getting some good omens. Rama siyatana saguna janaye bharakahi mangala anga suhaye. Now remember, until this point, Bhagavan has not been told that he is going to become Yuvaraja. But he gets this good omen. Now what does he think? With this good omen, am I going to become the king? He says, no. Pulaki sa prema paraspara kahi bharata agamanu suchaka ahi. Bhagavan says, this good omen is because my Bharatji, he is going to come. I am going to see Bharata. That is why this good omen is getting shown over here. Bhaye bahut dina ati avaseri, saguna pratiti bhenta priyakeri. It has been a long time. I have not seen Bharatji. And this good omen is telling me that I am going to meet him very soon. And this is that prasanga where devotee is not remembering Bhagavan. Bhagavan is remembering devotee. Great accomplishment. Culmination of devotion is in such a way that Bhagavan remembers his devotee. Generally, devotee feels the desire to meet Bhagavan. Here, Bhagavan is feeling good omens. He is feeling the desire to meet his devotee. Bharat sarisa priya ko jaga mahi, ihahi saguna phalu dusara nahi. Bhagavan is telling Sita ji, there is no second, reason for this good omens to happen. All of it is because we are going to meet Bharat ji soon. Ram hai bandhu soch dena rati, undone hi kamat hridaya jahi bhati. Goswamiji, I don't know how he finds examples. What is he saying now? How does Bhagavan remember his devotee? If it's a true devotee, Bhagavan remembers his devotee just like the turtle remembers its eggs. You know the turtle, right? It lays its eggs on the shore and then goes inside the ocean. And it is said no matter how deep it goes inside, just through thought, it nourishes the egg outside. It is considered as one of the most deepest connection at thought level. Imagine the mother has to take care of the egg and it is somewhere, mother is somewhere. But it nourishes it just through thought. In that way, Bhagavan remembers and takes care of his devotees. Just through thought. Of course, thought is sufficient for Bhagavan. Antaryami, who is seated inside, he can take care of everything. Sometimes we see this. Outside situation can be very challenging. But if some divine grace comes from within, and this mind is strong, calm, composed, it is as though that situation is not there. And sometimes that situation is very small. Right? Wi-Fi got cut off, something like that. Very small, and it is sufficient to throw us off. Because this mind has this ability to start connecting. So many things are there. It will build stories, everything it can do. But the main thing is, Bhagavan's protection comes in different ways. Recently, we were in one study group discussion, and the question was, how do you know that whatever thought comes from within, is it my mind chattering or is it Bhagavan speaking? Because both are voices from inside only. And you never know which voice is what. And everybody shared different answers. I'll just share one reflection. Whatever is difficult to do, but it is a right thing to do. Whatever is difficult to do, but it is a right thing to do, that is Bhagavan's voice. Whatever is very easy, but not necessarily the right thing, that is my mind. So let us say there is some situation and my mind wants to shout. My mind wants to say something. At that time, if a thought can come from inside, you are a devotee of Bhagavan. Quieten this mind down, you are a devotee of Bhagavan. That voice is Bhagavan's voice. If there is something that I really like, and I want to go and buy that thing, no matter what logic comes from inside, that is my mind chattering. Okay. So main thing is, Bhagavan thinks of his devotees. At the same time, he brings them out of situations. That is this prasanga. Ehi avasara mangalu parama suniraha seurani vasu sobhata lakhi vidu badata janu baridi bichi bilaso. Now the entire palace is happy. Everybody is rejoicing. Goswamiji says this Ayodhya Vasis, they are very unique. What is their uniqueness? They become happy looking at somebody else getting prosperous. In others' happiness, they derive happiness. Now, whenever he makes a point, he will give an example. What example does he give here? The second line. So bata lucky bidu badata janu, baridi beachi bilasu. Just like the ocean swells up when the moon, grows. On the other hand, lake is there. That lake grows only when it gets some drop of water. So two examples he gives. Earlier he had given this. So ocean example is to show that when somebody else is happy, in their happiness, this person is happy. Now, whoever was the first messenger who came to that palace to share this good news that Bhagavan is going to be coronated as Yuvaraja, that person got a lot of gifts. Dashrath Maharaj gave a lot of gifts and everything. And the queens are now getting ready. Everybody is so happy in the palace. They're decorating all the kalash and everything. This is after 7th Doha. Prema pulakitana mana anuragi, mangala kalasa, sajana sabalagi. Auspicious kalasha, they are getting arranged. Now Sumitra ji is there, Lakshman ji's mother. Her forte was in drawing rangoli. And every line of this doha, right, it is precisely mapping whatever Vashistha Maharshi had given as instruction. You see the previous, if you flip the page, above 6th doha you see. Above 6th doha. Found? Rachahu manju mani chauke charu, kahu banavana begi bajaru. And you see what Sumitra ji is doing there. Chauke charu Sumitra puri, manimaya bibida bhati ati ruri. Chauke charu means that rangoli and the design and everything. She has done it and then filled it with gems and jewels. Ayodhya's rangoli is very different. But the main thing is abiding or following Guru Ajna with no questions asked, with no ifs and buts. Whatever has been said in a systematic way, following that. On the other hand, Kausalya ji is also getting ready. What does she do? Her way of celebrating is very different. Her way of celebrating is very different. So she is giving danam, giving lot of, gifts to brahmanas. That is her way of observing this occasion. Means according to their gunas, they are doing the celebration also. So Kausalya ji represents Sattva Guna. So her way of celebrating is Ananda Magana Rama Mahatari Diye Dana Bahu Viprahakari. Lot of brahmanas she calls and gives them lot of gifts. Now you see, Bhagwan's Rajyabhisheka is going to happen. And Kausalya ji has this desire in her heart that everything should go smoothly. What does she do? She does puja to Grama Deva. Puja Grama Devi Suranaga Kahyu Bahuri Dena Bali Bhaga. Now Bhagwan Rama is Lord of the universe. For his Rajyabhisheka, Kausalya ji is praying to Grama Deva. Grama Deva you are familiar with, right? Like every grama, every village, it will have a presiding deity. In our Sanatan Dharma, every Adhibhuta has an Adhidaiva. Like we have the sun, which is Adhibhuta, right? Matter. But there is a sentient principle presiding over sun, which is Surya Devata. Gangaji is a river. Gangaji is Adhibhuta. Sentient principle presiding over Gangaji is Ganga Devi, who is mother of Bhishma. Surya Devata, father of Hanumanji. So sentient principle is there presiding over Adhibhuta. So now in village also, that Grama is Adhibhuta. So there will be a Chaitanya presiding over Adhibhuta, which is Grama Devi. And that Grama Devi or Grama Devata will think about the well-being of entire Grama. Every household, they might pray for themselves. But Grama Devi has oneness with the entire village. So they would always go in any auspicious thing to Grama Devi, and any problem also came in the village, their prayer would be Bhagwan, may you take care of all our challenges. Even if rain is not there, the first place they would go was Grama Devata, because it has to benefit everybody. Somebody they have to go to who is connected with everybody, thinks about well-being of everyone. Now all of them are singing Gavahi Mangala Kokila Bayani Bidu Badani Mruga Savakanayani. Kokila Bayani means good speech, good voice, but also good speech. Bidu Badani means all their vyavahara is very, very sweet. All transactions are very sweet. And last one is Mruga Savakanayani. Wherever in Ramayana eyes are described, that represents darshana. Darshana means ability to see different experiences in life. That darshana is very, very pure. All of them. Sumitra ji, Kausalya ji. Kai something happens, but even otherwise, it is in Ramayana, there is no dosha anywhere. Dosha means somebody who is considered as wrong. Why? Because Ravana Kumbhakarna were Jaya Vijaya. Right? They were Bhagwan's Parshadas. They came down because of something that they had done before. So one Mahatma Ji has written one book. Manas mein Sagun Darshan. Sagun Darshan means one meaning is Bhagwan's Saguna Rupa is called as Saguna Brahma, Bhagwan. When he takes a physical form, some guna he takes, it is called as Saguna. But another way to look at it is, in Manasa, everything has guna. That is how he has presented it. And he takes all examples, even Ravana, Kaikeyi, and everything he says, it was for a cosmic purpose. That is why they ended up doing those things. Rama Kaja Abhisheku Suni, Hiya Harashe Naranari, Lage Sumangala Sajana Sabha, Vidhi Anukula Vichari. Listening to this, everybody is so happy in Ayodhya that Rajyabhisheka is going to happen. And it is all our Punya Karma, which has brought this together. Now you see Vashistha Maharshi, he is the Kulaguru of Dashrath Maharaj. Such a great saint, Brahma Rishi. Now to give this news to Bhagwan Rama, he himself goes to his palace. What does Bhagwan Rama do when he sees Vashistha Maharshi come to his house? How does he speak to him? That we will see after 8th Doha. तब नर नाह वशिष्ठु बोलारे राम धाम सिख देन पठारे गुरु आगमनु सुनत रघुनाथ द्वार आई पद नाय उमाथ सादर अर्घ देई घर आए सोरह भांति पूज सनमाने गहे चरण सिय सहित बहोरी बोले राम कमल कर जोरी सेवक सदन स्वामी आगमन मंगल मूल अमंगल दमन तदपि उचित जनु बोलि सप्रीति पठिय काज नाथ सिनीति प्रभुतात जी प्रभु की धसने भयउ पुनीत आजु यहु देव आयसु होई सो करहु गोसाई सेवकु लहई स्वामी सेवकाई सुनि सनेह साने बचन मुनि रघुबरहि प्रशंस राम कसन तुम कहौ अस हम सबम सवतन बरनि राम गुण सीलु सुभाउ बोले प्रेम पुलकि मुनि राहु भूप सजेउ अभिषेक समाजो चाहत देन तुमहि जुबराजो राम करहु सब संजम आजो जो विधि कुशल निबाहे काजो गुरु सिख दे राय पहि गयउ राम हृदय अस विस्मय भयउ जनमे एक संग सब भाई भोजन शयन केलि लरिकाई Karana bedha upabhita biyaha Sanga sanga saba bhaye uchaha Bimala bamsayavu anuchita ego Bandhu bihai bade abhisheko Prabhu sa prema pachitani suhai Harau bhagat मन के कुटिलाए तेहि अवसर आए लखन मगन प्रेम आनंद सनमाने प्रिय बचन कही रघुकुल कैरव चंद्र सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। तब नर नाह वशिष्ठ बुलाए राम धाम सिक देन पठाए. Dashrath Maharaj calls Vashistha Maharshi and then he says you have to go to Bhagavan Rama's palace to teach him, to give him guidance about what he has to do before becoming Yuvaraja. Dashrath Maharaj is also so careful. He doesn't want to send Vashistha Maharshi just to Bhagavan Rama's house. He says, Rama Dhama Sikha Dena Pathai, to teach how to become Yuvaraja. That guidance Vashistha Maharshi is going to give Bhagavan Rama now. Guru Agamanu Sunata Raghunatha Dwara Ayapada Naya Umatha. Bhagavan Rama doesn't wait inside. He comes to the door and falls at Vashistha Maharshi's feet. Brings him inside, makes him sit inside and does Shodasha Upachara Puja. All the 16 steps he does. Sadara Araga Dei Ghara Ane Soraha Bhati Puji Sanamane. Soraha Bhati means Shodasha Upachara. 16 different steps of puja he does. In some of our camps, we used to do Matru Pujan on the last day. Shodasha Upachara Puja of mothers. And the best part was, in Naivedyam part, you have to actually feed. And they will have it. Children used to like it so much because otherwise what happens, you offer Naivedyam and we eat it. So this was the first time when you offer Naivedyam and the altar to which you have offered, that altar is having it. So that is in-person puja. That is how Vashistha Maharshi's puja Bhagavan Rama did. Prabhuta Taji. Now Bhagavan Rama is going to speak now. You see his words. Sevaka Swadana Swami Agamanu Mangala Mula Amangala Daman. He says, Vashistha Maharshi, you have done such a great thing by coming to my house. I am your Sevaka and you have come to my house. The direct result of master coming to Sevaka's house is this, he says. What is the result? Mangala Mula. It is the root of all auspiciousness in the Sevaka's life. And whatever inauspicious thing is there, that will be removed. Mangala Mula, Amangala Damanu. Now this is one thing which is available to everybody. Whoever does this, they will get this blessing with no taratamya. Taratamya means what? Gradation, more or less. Any material thing we get, there can be some gradation in it. From Swami, whatever material thing we get, in that there can be a gradation, but not in their blessings. That is this line, Mangala Mula Amangala Damanu, which is available to all Sevakas, whoever approaches their teacher with this bhava. Then he says, Tadapi Uchita Janu Boli Sapriti Pataiya Kaja Nata Siniti. First he says, I'm very blessed. He doesn't directly ask and say, why have you come? He says, I'm very blessed that Vashistha Maharshi, you came. But it would have been more appropriate if you had called me. Because I am Sevaka, you are Swami. Tadapi Uchita Janu Boli Sapriti. With lot of love he says this. Pataiya Kaja Nata Siniti. It is more appropriate. Riti means it is more appropriate that you should have called me. You came all the way to my house. What is your nature? He says, Prabhuta taji, Prabhu keen hasaneho. Means you don't hold on to your position so much. Prabhuta is not there, that you are Purohita of Dashrath Maharaj. Leaving all of that, you have come to my house and you are telling me all these things now. And with this, Lord of the universe, Bhagavan Rama says, my house has been purified. With Vashistha Maharshi coming to his house, he says, my house is purified. Now Vashistha Maharshi is so happy listening to Bhagavan Rama's words. Goswamiji writes this doha, 9th one. Suni saneha sane bachana. Sane means you have a dough, in that you mix water. Atta sanna, in Hindi they say. In dough you mix water. Like that, Bhagavan Rama's speech is mixed with love. You see, Suni saneha sane. Not pani sane. Huh? Suni saneha sane means with sneha, with love, his entire speech is otaprota. Otaprota means it is pervaded by that. That is the speech of Bhagavan Rama. And he says, it is not a wonder that you are seeing these things because you belong to Raghukula. Now this point we have seen in several places. Huh? The teacher praises the student, but says this is all because you belong to Raghukula. Previously also, Kausalya ji praised Bhagavan Rama and said all of this is because of your teacher Vishwamitra Rishi. So in several places it is indicated. Praise is also there, but credit given to the right source. He says, Raghukula Riti is this. That is how you have been trained in this way. Now he says, Dashrath Maharaj is all ready to do Rajabhisheka. He has all, prepared everything. He is now all set to do your Rajabhisheka. Now you should start getting ready. He wants to make you Yuvaraja. There are some preparations that you have to do before that. What is the main preparation? You see that second chaupai after 9th doha. Rama karahu sabha sanjama aju. Means today you have to do lot of austerities. See, that is their qualification for becoming a king. Generally what we feel, king has so much of luxury around, so many other bhogas around. He says that is why you need more austerity before. Rama karahu sabha sanjama aju, jo bidhi kusala nibahe kaju. And with that, everything will be auspicious, everything will go well for you. Or another way to look at it, this is that today you will have to do a lot of rituals. For becoming Yuvaraja, they have several days of rituals, and rituals directly connects with austerity. Simple Bhagavad Saptaha, if you have to do 7 days, how many hours? 4 hours morning, 4 hours evening sometimes. 8 hours you have to sit in one place, and Yajamana will have more austerities. They cannot go out, they cannot do so many things. So traditional places it will be even more. But the main connection of ritual is with austerity. So that, he says, is the main ingredient for a leader. Indulgent king will not last too long. That is his clear advice to Bhagavan Rama. Now these chaupais are beautiful. See, what was the news? That you are going to become Yuvaraja. Good news, right? To Bhagavan. Goswamiji is saying, what is going on in the mind of Bhagavan? Guru Sikha Dei Raya Pahi Gayo, Rama Hruday Asa Bismaya Bhayo. Bismaya means there is some kind of sadness in Bhagavan's heart. Why is it? He says, all 4 brothers, we were born together. Janama Eka Sangha Sabha Bhai. All 4 of us, just little bit here and there, but all of us were born together. Bhojana, we ate together. Sayana, we slept together. Keli Larikai, we played together. Karana Bheda Upabita Byaha, the ear piercing also we had together. Yajnopavita, Brahmopadesham also was together. Marriage also was together. Sanga Sanga Saba Bhaye Uchaha. In all happy moments of our life, we were together. Bimala Bamsa Yaha Anuchita Eku, Bandhu Bihai Badehi Abhisheku. Everything is so good in our Raghukula, but there is one shortcoming. What is that shortcoming? He says only the eldest sibling, eldest son, Rajabhisheka happens only of him. He says this is the only shortcoming in our entire lineage. With that thought, Bhagavan becomes little sad. Now Goswamiji writes Phalashruti of a devotee who reflects on this prasanga. He says, Prabhu saprema pachitani suhai. Pachitani means paschatapa, some kind of regret in Bhagwan's heart, the one who can dwell on this. Harau bhagata mana ke kutilai. May this dwelling take away any kind of kutilata in the heart of a devotee. Kutilata could be in several ways. In wanting to get something which does not belong to us. He says all of that will be washed away. All of that will be removed just by reflecting on this Paschatapa of Bhagavan Ram. That is a Phalashruti. In olden days, in the evening, their main way of keeping themselves engaged was Ramayana. Entire family would sit together, one small lamp, and they would sing these chaupais and reflect upon the meaning. In other words, the value system of a society, the main text which nourished it was Ramayana. There are several commentators who have written just on this part, Harau Bhagata Mana Kya Kutilai. Meaning amidst whichever group we are living, amidst whichever, either it is family or anywhere else, if we want to live in harmony, he says this kutilata should be taken away. And we realize we have control only on ourselves. Right? So Bhagavan says, Goswamiji says over here, through devotion, may Bhagavan take it away in ourselves. And in whatever possible way, make sure that everything is calm and quiet. Harau bhagata mana ke kutilai. That is why it becomes even more important why we should do Shravanam of Ramayana. Right? Otherwise, most of the times, these texts were worshipped, they were chanted, but not necessarily reflected upon. So that part, Goswamiji writes. Now, there are some other interpretations. The main one is this one, that by reflecting upon Bhagwan's nature, that my Bhagwan is of this nature, when he was offered the kingdom, this thought came to his mind. So may my mind become so pure that it not seek anything which does not belong to me. That is the main prayer. But some commentators, they say, Bhagwan is Satya Sankalpi. Means if one Sankalpa comes in Bhagwan's mind, nobody can undo it. If this Sankalpa had come in his mind, that okay, Vashistha Maharshi has given me the kingdom, and I will accept it, then none of Ramayana would have been possible after this. Because his Sankalpa, no Devata can undo it. Now you will see Devatas come and they take Saraswati ji's help to change the situation. So they say, if Bhagwan had decided that I will become the king, no Devata has power to undo it. So that's why this prasanga comes, where Bhagwan also gets this doubt. All four brothers, we grew up together. At this point, why am I being given, the kingship? And with that, the story stretches a little more. Everything happens, things happen as they have to. Another interpretation of this is, some people still have doubt that Bhagwan also had a hand in that entire prasanga. That he wanted to become the king and Bharatji was sent away. And that is why, he was also involved in this prasanga. So Goswamiji says, look at Bhagwan's heart. This was a thought which came in his mind he had no interest in kingdom to begin with. These are just some different ways. And now when everything is set over there, Bhagavan has heard this news. Lakshmanji comes. Tehi avasara aaye lakhana magana prema ananda, with lot of joy and enthusiasm. He doesn't know actually what has happened there. Lakshmanji comes. What does Bhagavan do? Sanamane priya bachana kahi ragukula kairava chandra. Bhagavan does sanmana of Lakshmanji through words. You know what is the meaning of sanmana? If you split the word, it is actually satmana. Satmana, sandhi becomes sanmana. Mana means to measure. Mana means to measure. Satmana means to measure the goodness in other person. Satmana means to measure the goodness in other person. We say, right, we are doing sanmana of this person. Means we will, hopefully it is not for any wrong reason. Most of the times it is, or all the time it is, something good they have done, or some good quality they have. That is being appreciated. That is satmana. And whatever external paraphernalia is there, that is a way of expressing that emotion. Emotion of recognizing the goodness in other person. So what is the best way of doing sanmana? Bhagavan says through words. Doing mana of the sat in other person. That is Bhagavan's way. Now all drums are getting beaten and everything in different ways. Unique kind of musicians are there. They are doing that. And in the heart of Ayodhya Vasis, they are waiting for Bharatji's arrival. Bharatji's arrival, all Ayodhya Vasis, they are waiting for. And people are talking in every nook and corner of Ayodhya, in all the streets. What are they discussing? When will tomorrow come? Oh, what time is the Muhurtam? When is Bhagavan Rama going to become the king? Once Bhagavan sits on the throne with Sita ji, then all our desires are fulfilled. Nothing else is remained incomplete. Everything is fulfilled after that. Everybody is talking. But while they were doing this, Bigana Manavahi Deva Kuchali. All the devatas, they are plotting something and wanting to change this plan. Because they say Bhagavan took avatar to finish Ravana. If he becomes the king over here, Ravana is over there, some other battle has to take place. Then only they'll come face to face. And all devotees are waiting. So many things have to happen. We should do something in between. From this prasanga onwards is elaboration of one verse from Adhyatma Ramayana. Goswami ji connects it over there. There is one verse which says, Saraswati ji came and twisted the mind of Manthara. Only that much. Goswami ji has elaborated in 10th Doha all the way until 13th Doha. 3 Dohas he has taken, how that process worked. He is a master in that. And it only shows us that one sankalpa which is done is individual sankalpa. Vyashti sankalpa. Dashrath Maharaj got this desire. Bhagavan Rama should become your Raja. There is another sankalpa which is called as samashti sankalpa. That happens at cosmic level. And invariably, samashti sankalpa is more powerful than vyashti sankalpa. No matter what this individual does, the main thing which is going to work is samashti sankalpa. And we should appreciate that this samashti sankalpa has some dots which are going to connect in time. That's why we should not stop at AyodhyaKand. When Bhagavan Rama goes to the forest, wait all the way until Uttarkanda, where all the dots connect and we realize, oh, this is why this thing happened. And we feel so many times in our life that I have one sankalpa, but samashti is going in some other direction. I don't feel samashti. I feel the world is taking me in some other direction. At that time, we should remember this prasanga. One is my sankalpa, another is the cosmic sankalpa. Even if I try hard, the one who is going to win is samashti sankalpa. So what is my best option? Blend with samashti and then take the course that this samashti sankalpa takes me to. Tinai sohai na avada badava, chorahi chandani ratana bhava. Goswamiji brings all kind of examples. He says, these devatas who are there, they are feeling so insecure right now that if all this celebration goes on, our work will not be accomplished. How does he feel insecure? How do they feel insecure? Just like a thief feels insecure in full moon night, because his work is not going to get accomplished. Just like he feels there, all these devatas are feeling over here. And what do? They pray to Saraswati ji. They say, Saraswati ji, you have to come and help us. Bhagavan should go to forest. He should not become the king over here. Now you tell me, was this Manthara sankalpa or was this Devata sankalpa? Manthara was the medium. She was the instrument, but it was some cosmic plan which made Manthara become that instrument. Goswamiji previously has written one chaupai where he says, there is no jnani and mudha in this world. There is no wise person and foolish person. According to our karmas, Bhagavan chooses right equipments to give karma phalas to each other. Means if somebody is having that mindset of Manthara, they will be chosen for this task. And you know, Manthara was not belonging to Ayodhya. She had come from Kaikeyi Desha. So some Mahatmas, they say, Saraswati ji tried to find one person in Ayodhya whose mind she could twist. And she found none. So the only person was Manthara. There she goes and twists her mind. But before that, they have a conversation, Devatas and Saraswati ji. She hears this, what she has to do, and she is so disappointed. Saraswati ji says, I have come all the way from Brahmaloka, and you are giving me this task to go and twist the mind of Ayodhya Vasis. She feels as though she is the cold night on lotuses which have blossomed. You know, the dew that comes, it takes away the whole thing together. Saraswati ji is feeling like that. And all this conversation is happening standing. See what Goswamiji writes after 11th Doha. Suni Sura Binaya Thadi Pachithati. When she is Thadi means she is standing, Devatas did not offer her a seat. Why? Because they say this Ravana, he has tormented us so much, we cannot even sit. That is our condition right now. You have to go and do something very critical. You know, that is our situation. And then they say, don't feel bad to Saraswati ji. You will not incur blame for this act of yours. And they give hetu also, reason also. What is that reason? They say Bhagavan Rama is Ananda Swarupa. You know, he is Bhagavan. He is pure consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanya. He doesn't have any kind of joy and sorrow. This is the second chaupai. Bisamaya Harasha Rahita Raghurao. Bhagavan Rama is devoid of joy and sorrow. Tuma janahu saba Rama prabhav. You know the greatness of Bhagavan Rama. So don't feel bad that you are going to do something to Bhagavan and he is going to feel bad about it. He doesn't look at this world as Satyam. That is his vision. And what about Ayodhya Vasis? Jiva karma basa sukha dukkha bhagi. All of us are jivas. We have to face results of our own karma phalas. So whatever karmas they have done, the same karma phalas they are going to face. Means main thing is, you will not be blamed for anything. Means what they are trying to say is, karma by itself doesn't give punya papa. karma by itself. What brings punya papa is kartrutva, doership and enjoyership. Once that is there, then there is vidhi nisheda. There are do's and don'ts, and according to vidhi nisheda, we have punya papa. This is Saraswati ji, you don't worry. You are doing our work. You are doing something good for all of us. So you just go and do it. Saraswati ji is thinking in her mind, what kind of devatas these are. Call themselves devatas, but always thinking about themselves. And then all those chaupai, she says, Ucha nivaso nicha karatuti. Their house is, very big, but their thinking is very small. Their doing is also very small. But then she consoles herself and she says, if I do this and Bhagavan goes for Vanvasa, he will liberate many people. And then great Rishi Munis, they will sing Bhagavan's glories, and then they will remember and thank me for whatever I have done. That was the only thing that she could console herself with. And with that, she goes to Ayodhya. Then whom does she find? Namu Manthara Mandamati. She could not find even one Ayodhyavasi. Only Manthara was there, who had that kind of samskara. Mandamati means that. So many people were there, but the right instrument was chosen. Cheri Kaikai Keri. She was made that instrument. Ajasa Petari Tahi Kari Gai Giramati Pheri. Very small twisting. Just small thing she twisted in Manthara's mind, and then she went back. What Manthara will do, that is the next part. This prasanga I remember in our camp when we were discussing Ramayana. I had shared this earlier also. I was going through, we had this 2-month-long camp, Ramayana camp, and we didn't do chaupai by chaupai, just prasangas we did. So when we came to the Manthara part, I explained all this, how Saraswati ji came and she twisted Manthara's mind and she went back. And one child I remember, her face like literally frowned after I said that. And whole 1 hour, she was just looking down like this. Then I asked her after the class, what happened? Did I say something wrong? I said, how did you say Saraswati ji twisted Manthara's mind? Because she was, Devi Bhakta. And her mother told me every day she would do puja and everything. So she could not bear this fact that Saraswati Devi came and she twisted Manthara's mind. But of course, then I explained everything and said it was bigger cause and everything. But that sweetness is nice to appreciate in devotion. My Bhagavan can never be wrong. Parvati ji also says that, right? If Narad ji has said something, then Lord Vishnu must have done some mistake. Narad ji can never be wrong because he is my Guru. That is that bhava. We'll continue in the next session. We'll do our Nama Sankirtan. Aganita Guna Gana Bhushana Rama Ashrita Vatsala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apad Bandhava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pathavi Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama Jaya Raghu Rama Jaya Sita Rama Vanara Sevita Shri Rama Varidhi Vandhana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai Satgurunath Maharaj ki Jai